from Abuja.
Hello, thank you for being a part of our show. We appreciate you. I am Magnus Kpakol, and this is Magnus Kpakol GVA. As always, it's all about how we can raise the level of living. That's what it's all about. In view today, health and the economy. The long-term growth trajectory of a nation should have positive correlations with the health of the people. Quite often, governments, after spending on defense, security, and infrastructure, would then remember health and education, two rather very critical planks for economic growth and development. So today, we look at some aspects of health and economic development. How is Nigeria connecting the dots between health and development? To help us with this, we are privileged to have with us Professor Olufemi Emmanuel Babalola, President of the Guild of Medical Directors in Nigeria. But before we talk to Professor Babalola, we look at the economics of happiness and fulfillment in our hidden economics. Now, up next in our quick view, we compare life expectancy among countries. That's coming right up. Life expectancy, by definition, is the average number of years a person born in a given country is expected to live if mortality rates at each age were to remain the same in the future. Although the Human Development Index is the main indicator for measuring quality of life, life expectancy, one of the key variables in the Human Development Index, is also sometimes used to assess the quality of life in a country. Quality of life is typically about life satisfaction in such things as physical health, family, education, employment, wealth, safety, security, freedom, religious beliefs, the environment, and life expectancy. Now, African and poor countries tend to have low life expectancy figures compared to rich and other countries. In the latest published data, the bottom 25 countries in life expectancy are sadly all in Africa. In this connection, which of the following rich countries has the highest life expectancy in the world? Japan, Singapore, United Kingdom, and the United States of America. Which of the following West African countries has the highest life expectancy? Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, Nigeria, and Senegal. Stay with us for our answers coming up shortly. Still in view, Professor Olufemi Babalola to discuss aspects of health and development in Nigeria. Don't go away.
Nínú iṣẹ́ mi o, bí mo bá ń jáde o, nínú ilé mi o, I no go lie, my star must shine.
Ire, the hit song by Tunde and Wumi Obe, featuring Brace. Tunde and Wumi Obe, TWO, as they are professionally known, are a Nigerian show business couple. They are entertainers, television personalities, and entrepreneurs. They began their music career as undergraduates at the University of Lagos in the 1990s, after meeting at the university in 1988. Ire means goodness in Yoruba. So you want goodness in your life. Alright, let's say you want happiness and fulfillment in life. What is the hidden economics in achieving happiness and fulfillment? Ever heard of economic equilibrium? Well, economic equilibrium is a state where economic forces such as supply and demand are balanced, and in the absence of external influences, values of the economic variables will not change. Okay, that may sound a bit complicated. So how about equilibrium price? Well, this is the price at which the quantity demanded of a good is exactly equal to the quantity supplied. So economists say this is the price at which the market clears. No surpluses and no deficits. Wow, you see? So that's where there is stable fulfillment and happiness. So if you want to feel happy, start with your mind. You must have something called equanimity. That means calm emotions when dealing with problems or pressure. It is connected with equilibrium. So in other words, you have mind equilibrium. Therefore, to have equilibrium price for social transactions, that is your social transactions, hold on to your values. Stand fast in the goodness you believe in. Accept the good. Look at life and take stock of what is working. Find purpose. Imagine the best and be open to change that promotes goodness to you and to others. There must be equilibrium in demand and supply. Happiness and fulfillment are within your grasp. Find equilibrium. Our hidden economics.
Nínú iṣẹ́ mi o, ìbò máa ń jáde o, la. Nínú ilé mi o, nínú ọdún yìí o, nínú iṣẹ́ mi o.
Before we start our discussion, here are our quick view answers. Japan has the highest life expectancy in the world at 83.7 years of age. Females in Japan at birth can expect to live up to 87 years. Men expect about 81 years. In West Africa, Senegal is the country listed here with the highest life expectancy at about 67 years. Unfortunately, Nigeria's life expectancy at about 55 years is the 7th from the bottom worldwide among 183 nations assessed. Worldwide, the average life expectancy is about 72 years. For comments, adverts, and sponsorship, please see our information displayed on the screen. So, we worry about the economic health of the nation. What about the medical health of the people? Especially when we often say that health is wealth. Indeed, the health of the people is a key determinant of national productivity, competitiveness, and prosperity. Therefore, what are some of the primary issues involved in assessing the health of Nigerians, and therefore Nigeria's economic growth and development? To discuss this, we have with us Professor Olufemi Babalola. Professor Babalola is the director and consultant ophthalmologist at the famous Rachel Eye Center in Abuja, Nigeria, and is a former president of the Ophthalmological Society of Nigeria. He is the current president of the Guild of Medical Directors in Nigeria. His achievements are numerous, with positions and experience in the United Kingdom, India, and with consultancy for the World Health Organization and other major institutions. Please join us in our discussion with Professor Olufemi Emmanuel Babalola. Okay, Professor Babalola, we're very happy to have you in our studios.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so it's wonderful talking to you in this setting, seeing you in the other setting, but happy to see you now in this setting.
Face to face. Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Now, the country is ailing. In terms of the economy, the country is ailing. My question is, medically, is the country healthy?
Well, obviously, if the country is not doing well economically, it tends to have some kind of effect on the health of the citizenry. So, if I were to answer that question as to whether the country is doing well health-wise, I would probably say we can do better. We can do much better than we're doing at the moment.
Okay, the reason why I ask is, if we look at the life expectancy of the average Nigerian, it is at best 55. I've seen numbers from 52 to 55 years of age.
That'll be about correct.
Yes. Then I go to Senegal, and I look at Senegal in the same West Africa, and our per capita GDP is said to be higher or larger than theirs. And it is like 60 something. And I'm wondering what's happening here. So that means that the quality of life in Nigeria, if I'm using per capita, if I'm using life expectancy, has to be poorer in Nigeria than in Senegal. And could that have also then have an effect on the performance of the economy? If you have people whose quality of life is not that good, whose life expectancy, it means you don't carry a lot of experience going forward. Life expectancy is not that high. Is it possible that there's a transmission from the health side to the economy? Yeah, so that's why I said, are we medically healthy?
Well, first of all, when you are looking at the life expectancy at birth of a nation as big as Nigeria, you have to remember that there is a lot of regional variation.
Yeah.
So for instance, the lowest figures probably come from the Northeast. And of course, we all know what is going on in the Northeast. We have had this insurgency going on there for years. And of course, again, the other northern, because obviously in the country we have these 6 geopolitical zones. So if you were to take the 3 northern geopolitical zones, they probably will have lower life expectancies than in the southern geopolitical zones. And so particularly the figures we're getting from the northeast geopolitical zone is dragging down the whole country in terms of life expectancy at birth. So if, for instance, you were to say, okay, let's look at what is happening in terms of the life expectancy at birth in the southwest, for instance, probably very close to what you're getting in Senegal.
Yeah.
You understand? Because it's a big country, therefore you have to look at everything holistically.
Yeah. So now when you look at development, and we were just talking before we came on set, With the key things are always looked at include education and health. If you were to just kind of give us a connection between, in your view, between health and development, what are the key things that people should look at? When we're looking at, okay, we want to be economically advanced, we want to have higher incomes, we want to have all of this, but we also want to be healthy. So which one comes first? Is it, do you get economically strong, your incomes are high, then you get healthy, or you get healthy, then your incomes rise?
Well, it's a vicious cycle, and so you really cannot say that it's a chicken and egg situation.
Yeah.
And obviously, they say that a healthy nation is a wealthy nation.
Yes.
If your citizens are not healthy, they cannot produce. They cannot produce on the farms. They cannot produce in the factories. They cannot produce in terms of services and so on and so forth. I mean, if our workforce spend quite a number of a significant proportion of their time looking after their health, then obviously they are not productive while they are taking care of their health. And the issue is that many of the problems that are at the forefront of the health challenges we have in the country are still things that are either, curable or preventable. Common diseases that we need to get that are preventable, things like tuberculosis, things like malaria, things like cholera. All these things are easily, with a few sensible health measures, you could bring down the prevalence of these diseases in less than one generation. You could totally transform the picture. And then you'll be left with dealing only with, the issues that Western countries are dealing with now, such as maybe cancer and hypertension.
So for us, the communicable diseases are more prevalent than the non-communicable diseases, or which one?
The communicable diseases at the moment are bigger killers.
The communicable diseases?
Certainly they are. Malaria, for instance, is a very big one. HIV/AIDS is a big one, and then the gastrointestinal, diseases, diarrhea, vomiting, gastroenteritis, and so on, cholera. All these things are the huge. Are the main things that lead to mortality in our country at the moment.
Notice, I saw an analysis where death from HIV was higher than in Nigeria than from accidents.
I won't be surprised.
From a car accident, and probably I think it was like in the top 3, and I was really surprised to see that.
Yeah, I won't be surprised.
When I thought that we had solved that problem.
Certainly no, we're far from solving that problem, because at the moment the prevalence of HIV/AIDS, of course, it varies from part to part in the country. But on average, still about between 4 to 5%, which is just too high.
If you take it to 5% of say 200 million, that's like 10 million people
living with HIV.
It's like whole countries.
Exactly. So
my goodness.
Whereas in the Western countries probably have prevalences of about 0.1% now or lower. In the UK, for instance, it's about 0.1% or lower. And so you can see the huge discrepancy, and that segment of the population living with HIV cannot be as productive as
absolutely not.
So we have about 20 million people living with HIV. That's just mind-boggling.
That's mind-boggling.
So basically, it's still a huge amount of work, particularly in terms of educating the people, because I still see that a lot of people take risks. Unprotected sex and all that, and
is that risk taking, or is that I wanted to call it another name, but I don't want to use that word. Is that ignorance? I may go on. I wanted to say stupidity, but okay. So let me not say stupidity. Is it risk, or is it ignorance, or what is it that makes somebody? Because I talk to people, and I'm shocked when I hear certain kinds of behavior that you see from people. Is it really risk?
Well, that's the technical term we use for it in health circles is, risky health
Yeah.
I mean, risky sexual
Behavior.
Yes, that's what we call it.
That means they know that this is what can happen.
Yeah,
and
but
they say,
I think your point that
yeah,
it's still possible that quite a significant segment of our populace do not know that they're taking this risk.
Yes.
And the education needs to be stepped up somehow.
So which comes first? Does good health lead to economic growth and development? Or does development produce good health? What we see across the world is that they go together and are mutually intertwined and reinforcing. As we examined earlier in the show, it seems reasonable to see how health measured by life expectancy will be positive and significant on economic growth, even after controlling for initial gross domestic product levels. All the countries with very high life expectancy tend to be richer countries, and all the low life expectancy countries tend to be poorer countries, which sadly are mostly in Africa. Human capital development seems to be a key factor in improving the health of a people. Countries with good nutrition for children and with good quality health standards and health care, and which promote high educational standards, continue to be more innovative, more globally competitive, and therefore more prosperous. So what policy measures are we designing in Nigeria to have a much faster pace in human capital development? In other words, how are we really investing in our people so that they can be more creative and innovative in order to help raise the level of living? Today, as we have seen, Nigeria only has about 75,000 medical doctors. This is too small for a nation of nearly 200 million people. Nigeria therefore has about 0.35 doctors per 1,000 people. Well, that's just not good at all. Cuba has about 6 doctors per 1,000 people. Syria has about 1.5 medical doctors per 1,000 people. South Africa has about 0.8 doctors per 1,000 people. And listen to this. Go to the top hospitals in the United States. You will likely find a Nigerian doctor in every single one of them, doing very well. Some reports suggest that about 2,000 Nigerian doctors flee for greener pastures every year. Hard to believe. Something must be done. How about we make it a major campaign issue? I'm Magnus Kpakol, and that's my view.